Liverpool have got a semi on. Liverpool have got a semi on again. Sorry.
Get in!
Sorry, I had to do it. You might know I used to work with the Sunday Sport. I can't help myself on nights like these. It just all comes flooding back. It's only me and Neil Atkinson tonight doing the post-match pint. We did have another guest. I'm not going to name and shame, but he's had a bevy too many and he's got off home. He might be on something tomorrow. See if you can work it out. Write in. You know, send us a postcard, whatever. But yeah, the Reds are through. The Reds are through. The Reds are comfortably through in the semi-finals of the Champions League, in the semi-finals of a European competition for the third time under Jurgen Klopp, which isn't fucking bad and isn't to be sniffed at, by the way.
And my stat.
Go on. Have you got a boss one?
I've got a boss one.
Go on.
It's only the 4th time in Liverpool's history they've been in back-to-back European Cup or Champions League semi-finals.
I love it.
The 4th time in European history. So my point to you is, and my point to our viewers is, these are the days. These are the glory days. Let's not mess about. Yeah, we need to add some silverware. We all know that, but it does not get better than this.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I started having a look at how Liverpool have got on in Europe over a long period of time, and you know, you've got what you remember, and then you've got actual facts, and then when you compare the two. And you know, like in the Champions League, obviously we got to the final last year. But then before that, we're poor. Yeah. And we're not there, and we're in the Europa League, and we've got a season, you know, not so long back, one season back from the other one, if you know what I mean, with no European football. And here we are in the semi-finals, comfortably so. What did you make of the start of the match, though? There was Southampton talking here, they're a little bit weird. But then I was just like, well, this is what Porto are going to do, though.
There's a couple of bits of this. I think the first bit is that the fact of the matter is that Porto were always going to try and start fast.
Exactly, yeah.
So they do try and start fast, and they put all their eggs in the starting fast basket, and that's sound, and they do all right with it. The next part of that, though, is they don't have a shot that's within, I'd say, 15 yards of our goal or the width of the sticks. So they're having attempts. And it's one of them where your hindbrain's going, oh my God, they're having shots. The chimp is going, oh, they're getting somewhere here. In reality, Liverpool are sort of all right with what they're doing.
I was comfortable, you know.
And well, I'm glad you were comfortable because, I mean, you've got an inner chimp.
I definitely have.
You've got an inner chimp, and that tells us a lot that if you were comfortable, and therefore we should all have been comfortable, to be honest with you. Now, I wasn't at times. I was a bit like, oh, they're going to come through in a minute. But in reality, they don't really get that close. I'd love to know, I mean, it's dead interesting. So, Salah's shot at the weekend against Chelsea, I'd love to know whether or not the Liverpool squad feel that Alisson would have saved it. Because loads of this is going, he's bossing on. And sometimes his kicking's a little bit suspect, or his decision-making around that's a little bit suspect. But basically, they're all going, is kicking's boss. Fabinho's going, you know what, my centre-halves are great. Everyone's got this attitude of, you can't really properly hurt us, the shell's spot on. Yeah. And listen, if you do something astonishing, you put a top bin and we've all got a cop for it, fine. The only chance that Porto should score, they score from. All the others, they're nowhere near should score.
The little toe poke one that's close to the post, they maybe should do better with. But yeah, it was comfortable. I said at the top, it was comfortable. And look, you know, Porto have more possession, they have more shots. But Liverpool, I think we said this about the first game as well, you kind of feel, and rightly so, that everyone, manager included, players included, are managing the situation. We came as huge favourites. We've been to that stadium before. We've beaten them comfortably before. I know some of the personnel has changed, but some of the personnel hasn't changed as well. and you know, that includes us. You know, like they understand each other. They form this bond. They're playing really well as a team, as a squad. If you're looking for sort of disappointments to take out of winning 4-1 away in Europe and getting in the semi-final of the European Cup, which is mad, I'm a little bit down about Divock. He gets his big chance, first time in Europe after 3 years that he actually starts a game, and then he didn't do much and he gets hauled. And maybe there's an injury and maybe there's a reason for that, but
he gets hauled in part because of shape. So the manager goes after, basically what the manager wants for the 15 after half time is to play 4-4-2. He wants to match them up. He wants Milner off one flank, Mane off the other. That's what he wants. He wants them there and there, and he wants Firmino coming and tucking in, and he makes that decision. He makes the decision that I don't want Divock doing that. I'd rather have Firmino do that. And if I'd like to think there's a conversation you can have with Divock tomorrow if you're the manager saying, listen, let me be really clear as to why we did that. I thought at times during the first half, they kept moving the three around, and part of why we get the goal that we get is because there is that flexibility in the three. But you know, for me, I think that Divock he's a victim of a tactical change. I don't listen, he wasn't very good,
no,
but he wasn't actively bad. And I think
there was the weird one where he didn't sort of chase the ball when it looked on that he could chase for it, and you thought, well, maybe stuff a knock, or I don't know. But
maybe. But I'd say that if you're Jurgen Klopp, you're able to turn around to Divock and say, listen, mate, this is interesting, isn't it? I've done that about 3 or 4 times myself. Should we just get rid of it? There you go. If you're Jurgen Klopp, you're able to say to Divock, listen, it was a tactical shift. This is what it was about, and this is the way in which it's meant to work. And I wanted to go 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1, and then he did that for a while, and then it became all right. Then he then shifted it back, and it was a bit more 4-3-3. But also because we'd settled ourselves back down, and maybe just maybe if you are also Jurgen Klopp, you were thinking anyway, no matter what happens, I'm doing Divock on 60 for Firmino. So I want to keep him fresh. It's just moving it forward 15 minutes, and you can explain that as well.
He's like a kid for me, though, isn't he? You see him when he come on.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like, I can't believe you left me out.
Yeah.
And I'm on now. I'm going to get a goal. Henderson as well. I thought amazing.
The ball's unreal.
The ball's lovely. I mean, that pitch is mad. And look, both sides play on the same pitch and all that before you start putting that in the comments. I know. But the pitch is mad. It looks like someone's thrown acid on it.
It's looks 63 different colours.
It looks
Who knew that many shades of green?
It's rained all day, I get that, but it looks like maybe it's one of them weird pitches where it's different fabrics, some's grass, some's not. I don't know, I'm just trying to look for explanations, but the one Mane misses, it takes a mad bobble, and I'm giving him that one. That's maybe why he does it. And when he's equalled Ian Rush's record in European competition with Liverpool, I'm fine with giving him one. But Henderson
having had one season not playing.
That's bouncing, by the way. That's bouncing weird. But Henderson looks, waits, plays that lovely ball, and it's in the back of the net. By the way, what I haven't said, you probably already worked out Neil's lashing part of the table away and everything. This is going to be a very chaotic post-match pint. So what we've done is, because there's only 2 of us, and it's harder to speak maybe when there's 2 years and not 3.
We're all right, aren't we?
We're all right. We're flying. We're doing all right. But we're going to get some inserts, fingers crossed, from the Anfield Wrappers who are actually out in Porto. So I'm going to say, if there's one, it's going to be now. There's going to be one now, and we're going to come back to us in a minute and carry on talking. So let's see.
We're in the Champions League semi-finals. The spots, Ben. Them lads, he just shouted. You got battered 4-1. Right, what is it?
You know what? I've never been more relaxed. I will never be more relaxed.
Two-1 wasn't. He was an angler for us 15. Could never be like that.
We had forgotten that the first match had happened. By the way, Man City, out, fuck off. Man City, out, fuck off.
Talked a lot of sense.
So hopefully that was either us talking a lot of sense or some people in Porto talking a lot of sense.
Loads of sense.
You will know. Listen, stay with us. The video product's going to be brilliant. The app's going to be brilliant. It's not always going to be as chaotic, but this is part of it. This is part of the joy. You know, the BBC don't do this, and that, you know, we're not the BBC. Anyway, so what else do you want to talk about?
In the background, we've got Klopp hugging Sergio Conceição. The thing I'll say across both legs is that I think that Porto are a good side who've done well.
Yeah.
And
didn't disgrace themselves, even though that's a big score ultimately. But
it ends up looking bad.
Yeah.
Across the grand scheme of things, there's the late goal from the set piece and all that sort of stuff. But I actually think that if you're Conceição, you get to walk away from that and say, we did better than we did last year. But also, I think they're, you know, for me, they are better than anyone who's below 7th in England, and they will be competitive for the top 6 slot. Whether or not how competitive they be over the course of the season, we'd see. But for me, that's a good side. And listen, I'm entertained by big centre forwards who run themselves into the ground by 55 and who can't do any more sprints.
And he did
that. I thought he's a threat. Morega's a threat. I thought that they were good. I thought they were good across the course of the tie. I thought that was what was underrated in the first leg, was how much they keep their heads at 2-0. If you've been beaten 5-0 at home and then a year later you go to these people's gaff, and suddenly you find yourself 2-0 down on 20, it would be the easiest thing in the world to go off a cliff. And tonight I thought the same thing. I think that they're a good side. They're not, listen, they're somewhere between last 16 and last 8 of the Champions League, the last 12. And that's a thing, you know what I mean? That's a nice place to be. But you've still got to beat them, you've still got to put them to bed. And Liverpool did that, and also Liverpool treated them with the utmost respect, the utmost professionalism.
And the other side of this is, I totally agree with you about them as a side, and I actually thought we were going to be coming up here and talking in front of this camera in Love and Rockets and Lark Lane, can't remember I mentioned that, but that's where we are. Saying basically we'd narrowly won, and that was fine because everyone had got out of it what they wanted. We progressed, they haven't disgraced themselves. Obviously, like, the score now looks bad, and it looks like they haven't played well. But I think what was interesting about the way that match started and the way people were reacting to the match was, yeah, they caused us some problems and they had some chances, not clear cut as you say, but Liverpool just sort of, at a key moment, were brilliant in both boxes all of a sudden. So Van Dijk intercepts that one where the lad looks like he's about to put it in the net, and next minute, other end of the pitch, Liverpool go 1-0 up. That's the key about this Liverpool side. You know, it's not like university challenge type stuff, this. If you're bossing both boxes, you've got a great chance.
But also being bossing both boxes is, it's not just the idea of kicking it in the back of the net. You know, you think about what it is to be bossing both boxes. At the weekend, I said before, Liverpool passed the ball twice before Henderson hangs it up. Inside the box, Liverpool passed the ball twice, Henderson hangs it up, and Mane's got an easy finish. The number of touches you actually get pass to pass in an opposition area is on average across the season no more than 4 a game. That's where Liverpool are. You put 2 together in a penalty area, you're going to score. Now, Salah's shot was a shot. I think it was a shot, but it could be a pass. The point is that when Wijnaldum knocks it off to Salah, Salah does what he does, Mane gets on the end of it and it's in the back of the net. That doesn't happen for Porto all the way through the game. Whenever Porto get into our area, they've got to take a snapshot. They've got to make the effort, whereas Liverpool are able to play a little bit more football. You think about Henderson's ball to Firmino. It's a great ball, but it's also only a 20-yard ball. You know, it's not. He's not doing that from 40 yards away from him. He's arcing that in when he knows where the run is, and they go from there.
It's a nice ball from Trent, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's a gorgeous ball from Trent, but again, it's a great ball wherein it's a good touch, and then he absolutely. I mean, Casillas, I love Casillas, in that he knew as soon as it went past him, it was in. Yeah. Like, if this goes past me at this angle, it's in the back of the net. It's a great finish. But it is, for me, that's Liverpool's quality versus Porto's quality, and it feels like it's not much. But it's everything. Yeah. It's actually everything. If you get the ball in the penalty area and you play a bit of football, or you get the ball where it's like the penalty area, and even if it's then 30 yards out, and you play a bit of football, that's the composure, and that's what matters. And for me, I think that this is just some Liverpool side. And even when tonight they go through 30 minutes and they're not great, they're still a brilliant side who are just about to be a brilliant side. Yeah. I think it's amazing. And I think the other thing that happens as well, which would have happened to Porto, but even if they'd scored early, Liverpool are just fitter. They're just going to have that bet. They're going to be better in the last 20 minutes. If you're playing us at the minute, you want to be ahead with 20 to go. If you think you've got a chance of winning the game, you want to be ahead with 20 to go. I don't think there's a side fitter than us in Europe, apart from maybe Ajax, and we're only going to play them if we play the final.
I think as well that Liverpool don't ever turn the gas up right to 200, if you know what I mean. So it's like they never have to go full out. I said before about the idea of maybe conserving a bit of energy. See with the substitutes as well, that's obviously on Klopp's mind. But look, we obviously haven't watched Man City 4, Tottenham 3, Spurs going 3-1 aggregate. But that sounds like a fucking crazy game where City maybe have massively blew themselves out, and it's going to be hard. I mean, they're all, we can see pictures on the telly as we're filming this of them on the floor, or, you know, heads in hands, as you would be after a game like that. Is there finally going to be this psychological effect on them that we've been praying for all season?
It's a double-edged sword. I really wish they weren't playing Spurs this weekend. I wish it was the weekend after. In the same way that Spurs will be as exhausted as City. At the moment, they won't feel like it. Yeah. At the moment, it'll be the other way around. But, you know, we've seen just the highlights literally over the shoulder of the camera whilst this is going on, and you're just a bit like, wow, it's, you know, fair play to Tottenham to go to City and get the result that they've got is, you know, it's a brilliant achievement. I think that they can get something from City at the weekend, but they almost need the game to go their way in exactly the same way. You know, do you want to be 0-0 on 60, 0-0 on 45, or 1-1 or 2-2, tight on 45, tight on 60? For me, that's what they're going to need to have, because City will just try and blow them away. And also, there'll be lots of talk of, well, we'll get our revenge. But listen, for me, it's a reminder to everyone, this is not a City side that's unbeatable. Far from it. This is a City side that is actually beatable.
Get at them.
It's been beaten once, and it's not been beaten tonight by Tottenham, but it has in real terms actually lost, and it knows it's going to lose as the game wears on. The other thing as well is it's another reminder that they're not great with 15 to go. They're not great with 15 to go. They don't create a great deal. They can get a bit blunt. They cannot be quite the force that they are with 15
got
gone.
one ruled out at the end, though, haven't they?
Ruled out right.
VAR's fucking brilliant, by the way, all of a sudden, isn't it?
Suddenly VAR.
You know, VAR is right. You gave us a goal. You chalked one off for them. You've given one to Spurs by the looks of it as well. I mean, all of a sudden, I wasn't into the thing, and you know, huge debates with Rob Gutman and all the rest of it. But right now we could win the first VAR title / first VAR Champions League. We could also win the first climate change title. That's the other thing I think we're bang on for here, is the first title in the climate change era, and maybe the first double in the climate change era, in that we keep playing in unbelievable weather conditions. And you know, maybe that's part of what this Liverpool side's great at. For all we talk about Klopp and how he talks about the weather, maybe, just maybe, he's absolutely brilliant at going, you know what, the weather's going to do this today, boys, so you need to do more and more of this. Liverpool through the wind and the rain. Listen, there's going to be one more insert here now from Portugal.
With a bit of luck.
We hope. So fingers crossed. Here's someone else. Don't know who it's going to be. We haven't really planned it. But people in Portugal getting wet, celebrating Liverpool winning. Up the Reds.
Liverpool are in the semi-final of the Champions League, yes again. Second year in the run. We just took the piss in Porto. We're going to take the piss again in Barcelona. Fuad, we were singing to them the way to go home on about 70 odd minutes. Isn't it? It's unbelievable.
It shouldn't be a thing. This shouldn't be normal. We shouldn't be going to places like this and beating teams like that ever. It shouldn't be something that we just accept as normal, because this team is special. This team is going to do special things. If it's not this season, which it will be this season, but if it's not, this team's here to stay now.
It's alright, they're doing special things. Look, one's just happened tonight. And do you know what? It's nice to not have half fun every now and again, isn't it? To just have a lovely time, play a bit of football, have a bit of force, and just go out and celebrate. I mean, the atmosphere of the ground, everyone just had a nice time. Porto scored, and then the ground went up. They played the Genie by now, so everyone was like, scored again. Let's have a lovely time. Everyone was brilliant. Can't even fault anyone. Unbelievable to see the return of Joe Gomez, by the way. And yeah, just another great European night. You know what? We've had so many, and I think we're going to have many more to come.
Exactly, like I was thinking back to last year at 5-0, I was here for that. And this performance was one where this team is so comfortable in the skin, it knows how good it is. It knows that it belongs at the top level. That they didn't play that well, they didn't play at the same level they did in spells last year. But they picked their moments and they just showed their class. Something that I've not seen before, and something that's going to stay, like I said before.
Like a team that's going to win the European Cup again. Up the Reds.
So we're back.
Sensible.
We're back for the last bit. Brilliant. Thanks.
Honestly, well in, Paul Senior.
Do you reckon you're going for Paul Senior?
Paul Senior on the second one, well in, Paul.
I mean, if it's Lizzie, it'll be mad, won't it?
Oh, absolutely crazy.
Thanks, Lizzie.
Absolutely crazy. Thanks, Lizzie. Thanks all.
Craig. Thanks, John. Thanks, the Anfield Wrap.
They're all heroes.
What are we doing in this last bit?
We're going to do the semi-final and the
final. We're talking
final.
about going to Barcelona?
We are, yeah.
You booked it? You going?
You're going.
I'm going.
You're going.
So. Yeah.
You're
Can't
going,
wait.
I'm not.
I've been before, I've seen us win there.
Yeah, and I think there's a fighting chance you're going to see us win there again. What's mad about this side
is
that, yeah, I did, and I liked him, by the way, last night. He's unreal. I mean, let's be absolutely frank about this. The best player on the pitch across the course of the two legs will be Leo Messi. He will be the best footballer.
Stop him getting the ball in there.
Sorry, that's the thing. The thing he does these days, though, is he just flits around the pitch and goes and gets little pockets of space and sorts himself out and then plays a bit and then he gets it back and then he plays a bit more and then he gets it back and he plays a bit more. He's phenomenal. But for me, he is the only thing to be scared of. And I mean that with the greatest respect to Coutinho, to Suarez, to Rakitic, to Arthur, Fowler, to all of these characters that they've got knocking around the place. I mean it with the greatest of respect. I like the left back a lot. I think he's a really good player.
It's great. Good last night.
But I am ultimately of the view that we are better than them other than one factor, and it is Leo Messi. And listen, you know what I'm looking forward to, and it's soppy and people might not like it, but going back to 07, we got to watch Messi at Anfield when he was 19. And now the point of and I didn't want United, and a lot of people want, listen, United is shit. But a lot of people wanted United because they thought it'd be easier for Liverpool to go through. And I didn't. And the reason why I didn't is because the point of Europe, we play United twice a year anyway. The point of Europe, exactly. The point of European competition is that Barcelona get to come. And in this one, now this fella who is, I think, the greatest player ever to play the game, I don't think it's debatable, I just think he is.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to watch him home and away, and he's going to get to come to Anfield. And listen, he didn't win when he was 19, and I don't think he's going to win when he's 31, 32.
Should we sign our below back just for this game?
Just to stand him up for a piece of this.
Oh, not him again.
Oh, fuck's sake. Following him around the pitch.
Take Bellamy over for the away leg.
But, that's what I think, and that's what I wanted. I want that, and I want us to beat them, and I want us to beat him, and I want us to walk away. And by the way, I want him to be great in a really weird way on the night. Like I want it to be 0-0 in their place, and they come over and it's 3-2, and he gets the 2, and one of them's a worldie. I want genuinely, because listen, me and you know, I'm 38, and I am going to watch hopefully 30, 35 more years of Liverpool. So I'd just rather see the best player get to be the best player for a bit. Because, listen, we're going to win more European Cups. I'm going to watch it, but I think we're going to win this European Cup as well.
Well, we've got Barcelona to get past. What a prospect that is, going out there, getting them at Anfield, as you say. And then it's Tottenham or Ajax in the final. And to me, yeah, Ajax have been brilliant at times, but earlier in the competition didn't look quite so good.
No.
They're turning it on now, and fair fucking play to them, like. No one saw this coming, and it's nice for the competition and all the rest of it, but nevertheless, neither of those sides, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is what football fans do.
Yeah.
Neither of those sides strike fear into you.
No.
And already, and I don't normally do this, and soz if you think I'm jinxing it, but we've all just hatched a plan about how the fuck we're getting to Madrid downstairs.
Rightly so.
So Dave, if you're watching, Gary might not have told you yet, but we're coming to stay in your house in Valencia.
Hiya, Dave.
All the best.
Great stuff, Dave. Let's hope it's all like that gaff in Norwich. There is, for me, you're looking at that and you're going, right, Tottenham, we're 20 points clear of them. Now, listen, let me get it right. The year that we knocked Chelsea out the semi-final, 04-05, we are 30, 35 behind them, so they can beat us, of course they can. Or Ajax are the young lads who will run you into the ground, look great, but simultaneously, honestly, if you'd have said before the ball was kicked this season you'll get a European Cup final against Ajax, you'd take it all day. It's mad that if we beat Barca, and I think we will, but there's a Leo Messi-sized hole in that where he could just do us. But if we beat Barca, we walk into the European Cup final as favourites. We walk in as favourites, we are favourites. And suddenly this season is opening up like no one's business. And if City drop points at the weekend, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I mean, I'm honestly, if City drop points at the weekend and we beat Cardiff, then I just think I'm going to spend Easter Monday with me kecks on my head. And we're still going to have to go from there and cope. And to be honest with you,
the other thing is though that we, like the final thing, because we've gone on a bit here, but I hope you're enjoying it. But the other thing is that we've got to remember the thing about the Barcelona thing. It's easy to get carried away about Messi, about the ground, about how good they are, about they took the piss out of United, etc, etc, etc. But if you're Barcelona, if you're Piqué, if you're any of their defenders, you don't want to play against Liverpool.
You can't be asked with that front three.
You can't be asked with that front three, exactly.
Can't be asked with it, and you can't be bothered with Henderson currently. the fact that he's decided he's going to be better than Gary Mack.
Or the fullbacks,
or the fullbacks.
You know, Trent's been quietly brilliant, I think, last couple of games as well. You know, in terms of.
By the way, I've just seen one of the Tottenham goals there, and it's one of those ones that the City keeper, like they just kick it through him, like he doesn't exist. Like more people realise he can't save things.
I know.
The City keeper cannot save things. It's absolutely
crackers.
No, watch it here. They're knocking it around. This is the one that's they're gonna make it.
Everyone's got dodgy keepers, Barrows, you know.
So it's played into Son. It's onside. We've got that nailed on. There he is. Son, bang.
That's awful.
Isn't it shite? It's absolutely shite. I mean, I realise this isn't great for you at home.
No, sorry. Can everyone start having a go at City though? And, and also as well, just you know, a little wave to any journalists watching. Finally. You can all stop doing polls about quadruples now, can't you? You can all stop writing about quadruples. You can all stop disappearing up Man City's arse because they are fallible. They are out. They haven't reached further than the semi-finals of the Champions League as far as I know. So, you know, that's a little thing for them. And like Liverpool have got to finals. Liverpool have won it 5 times. Liverpool are on for 6 times. What a time to be a Red.
Europe.
I hope you've enjoyed the post-match pint from Love and Rockets in Lark Lane. Thanks to Rob Gutman for letting us use the bar. Thanks to the world. Thanks to Liverpool Football Club. It's a wonderful time to be alive. That's been the post-match pint.